Welcome to Mondays at Microsoft, everyone. This is where we break down the next 2 weeks across the Microsoft world for you with a special focus on modern work, AI, and Power Platform. I'm Karuana, the Director of Customer Advocacy for AI and Collaboration, and I'm joined by my awesome friend.
Hello, Karuana. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Cook. I'm Principal PM on the Customer Advocacy team, focusing on engagement and events and our community. I had more than 50 characters, so there.
Of course you did. That's because you do more than 50 characters worth of stuff. So
Yeah,
thank
true.
you
That's
for
true.
all of that.
Yeah.
We're starting off with an eventful year, and we can promise to keep you up to date. Make sure you share our show page at ak.ms, Mondays at Microsoft, and you can download a reminder for your calendar, which is very handy. This year, we're going to post a recap blog of every show with all of our links, which you will want. You can find that at our community news desk. So log in and subscribe there, and they'll come right to your inbox. If you're watching on LinkedIn, you're going to get your links as we discuss the topics. And on YouTube, we put them in the segment description after the show. But of course, you can find everything at that community news desk blog. On LinkedIn, also, you're going to get live closed captioning. So if that's something you would like to use, then watch us on LinkedIn. We are super happy to be here. We've been busy too, and I want to remind everybody about the amazing SharePoint event that we just had. You can up your SharePoint IQ by watching the event on demand. You can join Jeff Teeper and CJ Tan and Melissa Torres to discover how to transform your SharePoint-based internet from concept to creation to impact. This is all about the features that are available right now and how you can use them to improve your SharePoint experience and get more done. So let's take a quick look at what you can expect from the president of Collaborative Apps and Platforms, Jeff Teeper.
Hey there, Jeff Teeper from Microsoft, and I want to invite you to one of the most important SharePoint moments in our history on January 29th. You know, SharePoint has evolved to the most flexible content platform, which is more important than ever in the era of AI. And we have, over the last year, taken the user experience for SharePoint sites, documents, and more to the next level. So we're really excited to show you our latest work. All of it will be available as of the day of event for you to build your own sites and workflows and applications and agents and more. And so please join us on January 29th for this critical, exciting SharePoint event.
You don't want to miss that, and all of the amazing demo bench deep dives that we did to support the event in our learning series that is also available today. So check that out and share it with your friends. This month, we have so many things to talk about, but we want to start out with one of the important topics at Microsoft. It's Black History Month. We recognize our differences have the potential to be our greatest strength. Behind every innovative product are people, and the uniqueness we bring to the table only pushes us further. And that's never more obvious than now in the era of AI, right? We're bringing our human perspectives to this transformational moment in technology. And so it's important to do that. And we want you to be a part of the journey. Explore how we uncover the boundless potential of Black and African American Microsoft employees, just like me, and how our unique experiences, culture, and ingenuity bring the company's vision to life. I'm always excited to celebrate Black History Month. And now more than ever, it's a wonderful opportunity to honor our ancestors and understand how we got here today. Big shout out to the folks who run Blacks at Microsoft. They do an awesome event every year. They're always doing skilling events and really building a fantastic community. So shout out to all those folks, and go and check it out at the link below. Let's then talk about a little bit more. We're going to talk about Microsoft's 50th anniversary, aren't we, Heather?
We are, yeah. I was like, lots of things that are happening this month that are kicking off, for sure. So 50 years of Microsoft. We're celebrating that with looking at achievements of our employees, customers, and partners that have really, dreamt, built, and used Microsoft technology for a force of goodness and change, and looking ahead to our future. The I think, I went to University of Washington in Seattle, and so lived in that area for a long time. I don't anymore, but I go back there quite a bit. And, that growth and success really also has a lot of just anchor in the Puget Sound. And so looking at those folks in that area, there's honoring and awarding of 50 local changemakers with $50,000 in grants each to support important work that folks do addressing the needs of that particular region. So you can check that out in the One Future and One Sound initiative. Lots of very cool, 50 this and 50 that things happening. Another thing that's going on, 50 more stories add to the 300 stories of our favorite real life examples of how organizations are really embracing Microsoft's AI capabilities to drive impact and shape today's platform shifts to AI. So 50 more have been added, and you can check that out in some of the links that we have on that section. And then we also have 2025 marking the Microsoft Alumni Network's 30th anniversary, and then also, Microsoft's 50th. So there's lots of new partnership and opportunities in that if you're a Microsoft alumni. And also a shout out to GeekWire, another local Puget Sound area, startup actually from 2011. John Cook and Todd Bishop were journalists, and it's got so many roots in the Seattle region, but has really grown to like this bigger, amazing journalistic area for technology all over the world. And they are doing a year-long project called Microsoft at 50, which is really exploring our past, our present, and future. And there's all kinds of cool events happening. I believe there's one on March 20th in 2025 this year in Seattle. So definitely check that out too. So tons of cool backgrounds and videos and all kinds of graphics and all that stuff for folks if you're doing your own celebrations of Microsoft 50. So definitely check that out and all the links that we have on the whole area. A couple of cool things happening coming up in Teams, in case you missed it, that Karuana is going to talk to us about. But Microsoft's 50.
I know, right? That is exciting. 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's been such a force in my life as a company. I can't think of another company that has really changed my life individually and the lives of so many people that I know in such a positive way. So I'm excited to celebrate Microsoft at 50. I think she's just getting started and revving up for all of this AI work that we're doing. It's an exciting time. I know there's going to be lots of fun events, and hopefully there'll be some swag along the way.
For sure. So in case you missed it.
I know, in case you missed it. So now let's go into some of our product news. In case you missed this is an important one in Microsoft Teams. Now, I hope that you all know that alongside the work that we're doing to bring Copilot experiences to you, we're also really focused on some of our foundational element and services like Microsoft Teams. And Microsoft Teams is using AI in a very unique way behind the scenes to improve your meeting experience. This is all about enhancing Teams video quality with what's called super resolution, or SR. So normally what happens in low bandwidth situations in a meeting is that Teams had traditionally used conventional measures and methods to make sure that the video maintained a certain quality bar. But now, instead of doing that, we can use super resolution. In those conventional methods, sometimes the video quality you ended up with was a bit blurry. With super resolution, leveraging, of course, also the power of Copilot plus PCs, it uses AI in the background to improve that video resolution in a low bandwidth situation. It's just one of the many ways that having AI onboarded on your particular workstation can improve your experience. So this is something that we announced at Ignite, and it's now available in public preview, and we're targeting general availability in March. So if you want to learn more, you can check out the blog on this, Super Resolution. I just like the name. And it is operational for folks in that public preview bubble right now. So we love that. And you can take a look at the video post, and you can see the clips in the blog that show the difference between the two resolutions, which I love it when they do those things, so that you can actually physically see the difference. Because, in your normal day-to-day, you might not see it, but you will soon.
That's awesome. I love that. Super resolution. So
I know, right? Who comes up with these names? SR technology.
It's our technology. Yeah. Well, we have another one coming in the case you missed it that I have. So we'll do the whole in a world where a new force throughout the GitHub Copilot experience alleviates Copilot from a pair. It's like so fun. So
It is.
Thomas Donkey, CEO of GitHub, one amazing. He was the keynote at the Power Platform Conference, and he's just so fun. And so it is literally Copilot, GitHub Copilot, the agent awakens is their whole thing. And so yesterday, infusing a new force throughout GitHub Copilot experience, they elevated Copilot from a pair to a peer programmer with the power of AI agents, which is super cool. So you got GitHub Copilot agent mode. So when you toggle on an agent in VS Code, Copilot goes beyond your initial request, completing all the necessary subtasks, amazing, to ensure your primary goal is achieved. We also have got GitHub Copilot edits, announcing the GA for that in VS Code as well. So first announced at GitHub Universe, and it's combining the best of inline edits and chat, allowing you to make changes across multiple files by prompting in a natural language, which is super cool. And then, of course, there's Project Padawan, lovely, finally, which is a sneak peek at the autonomous suite agent and how we're envisioning these types of agents will fit into the whole user experience for GitHub. So this is being released later this year. Project Padawan, it'll allow you to directly assign issues to GitHub Copilot using any of the GitHub clients, and it'll have it produce fully tested pull requests. So code completions, chat, multi-file edits, all that kind of great stuff. Copilot's really going to put humans at the center of the creative work that is software development. So super cool. I'm very excited. GitHub's like, we want your feedback on all of the above. The quest is to maximize developer productivity and happiness. It's do or do not. There is no try. That is their words. So I just want to make sure that is in there. They're full on going for it with all of that Star Wars goodness.
I couldn't love that more. That is just so cool. We could geek out on this for the whole, balance of the show if we needed to. Project Padawan. Oh my goodness, the agent awakens. Okay, this is I love their creativity and having a little fun with it, right?
Yeah,
Let's bring some humor and levity to all of this change. That helps all of us understand it better. So thank you for that, Heather.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful.
Yes. So more products. Karuana, go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. And, products are wonderful and features are great, but what actually matters is business growth. And that is never more true than in the small to medium business area. We know that small to medium businesses are the heart of a healthy economy. And so Brenna Robinson, who's fantastic, she is the general manager of Microsoft 365 Small and Medium Business Area. She wrote a blog recently highlighting some of the new research on small to medium businesses using Microsoft 365 Copilot for business growth. Now, you hear a lot about Copilot and AI capabilities for productivity and creativity, and that is quite true. But I really love thinking about it from a growth perspective. How can these new tools help be a competitive advantage and differentiator for your small to medium business? Maybe you run a small consulting company. Maybe you make widgets in the middle of the country. Wherever that may be or whatever you do, these tools can really help you. And there's some fantastic research on the projected total economic impact of Microsoft 365 Copilot for SMBs that can help you understand some of the opportunities that are there for you. Of course, we have resources to help those folks on my favorite site, adoption.microsoft.com. We have a Microsoft 365 Copilot adoption playbook, our success kit, our prompt gallery. We're doing more content that is specifically tailored for SMB because you're going to have different scenarios and language and challenges than a very large, multinational enterprise organization. And we know that. So we're happy to do that and happy to, make sure to help you not only get the most from Copilot, but from Microsoft 365 and its foundational fundamentals. That's why for some time we've had the adoption hub for SMB, the enablement area that really focuses also on those foundational things. So Teams and SharePoint and OneDrive, those things are for you too, and you'll make sure to have good usage there as you go to think about how you can get that value from Copilot. So thank you, Brenna, for an awesome article, shouting out all the good stuff that we have. We appreciate that. And we want to hear from you. If you have new content or anything that you need in that area, we're happy to build it for you to make sure you're getting the most from what you're doing with Microsoft.
Awesome. So heading back into business applications and Dynamics 365, tons of product news for all of these wonderful products. So the Power Apps Pulse, Clay Wisner, who is product manager over there, who's awesome, is putting out the monthly updates for Power Platform and Power Apps. And definitely, your productivity is sure to get a boost from the Power Apps Pulse. Everybody's got some really punchy, cool lines, being super creative. I love it. So there's a lot of cool things happening, new and powerful, more personalization in the Power Platform Admin Center, more efficiency, expanded capabilities in the data workspace, and get hands-on with a brand new Plan Designer, which is super cool. So announcing a Plan Designer is now in public preview and available for makers worldwide. So with this Plan Designer, it's easier than ever to transform, simple business requirements into a complete end-to-end low-code solution in minutes. So enabling makers with Copilot and a team of agents with rich domain skills across solution architecture, data modeling, and the user experience generation. So all of that stuff coming to you now in the Plan Designer and public preview. Really trying to revolutionize the ways you build those business solutions. So intelligent, impactful solutions efficiently and effectively, of course. The other big thing in the world of Power Platform is our Powerful Devs Conference and then the Hackathon 2025. So huge, cool event coming up for developers who want to really tap into that full potential of Power Platform for enterprise app development. So there's a one-day online extravaganza followed by a 2-week hackathon where you'll learn to build, smarter, faster, with less effort. So lots of details on that. So make sure you bookmark for the online conference experience and then also sign up for Hack Together 2025. A lot of buzz on this on LinkedIn and social media. A lot of great players in there for judging and all of that kind of stuff. Hackathons are super fun, and if you haven't participated in one, highly recommend this one. There may be another one coming up too, Karuana, that we should probably mention. Yes? You come back and...
Yes, there is. I was just writing about that. There's another fantastic hackathon that's happening in connection with our fantastic SharePoint Raise Your SharePoint IQ event. We are having a SharePoint hackathon where you can show up all your new skills in making beautiful agents and sites. We'll share the information here, but I'm excited about this because you can join yourself or with a team of people from your organization and make it really fun. Submit your ideas. There's a great methodology for how people can submit. And of course, big shout out to Vesa and the broader community team who are leaning in on this. I'm excited to see what everybody's going to submit. I love a good hackathon. And so we'll have more information about all the fun things you're going to get to win. But what you really get to win is the bragging rights that you won a Microsoft SharePoint hackathon.
Yeah. So you got Powerful Devs Hackathon coming up here in February. And then you got the SharePoint Hackathon right after that. So we got some hackathons all over the place. So you can get involved in all of them, which will be cool. We also have some new security features in the Power Automate space for desktop flows. Desktop flow connection credentials with Azure Key Vault and CyberArk secrets. So Power Automate now supports storing connection credentials in the Key Vault or CyberArk, which is really very cool. It ensures that passwords are encrypted and managed securely. All the things that we've been talking about security and privacy as of late from Microsoft. This is another great step, continuing that commitment to cybersecurity, really reducing the risk of unauthorized access. And the feature also includes support for automatic connection updates at runtime, like when a password rotation occurs as well. Certificate-based authentication with MFA, that's in public preview. So really to further enhance that security, supporting certificate-based authentication in desktop flow connections, a passwordless solution. It really adds that extra layer of security, meeting multi-factor authentication requirements for attended as well as unattended scenarios. So coming up in the desktop build 2410, and then also credentials for desktop flow actions is also in public preview. So for desktop flows, Power Automate allows the use of credentials directly within flow actions as well. So that's coming out in desktop build 2411. So a lot of really good updates coming out there and public previews for you all to check out and dip into as well. Goodness, that takes us into community events.
Oh my goodness, that was fantastic. Well, I love all of the product updates and all of the business reference information. And
Yep.
you're about to give us this fantastic update on all the community events that are happening. But I wanted to give a quick shout out to all of those community producers and the people who have done such great work, really bringing the community back. All of the events that you list every time, there are just volunteers behind the scenes making those things happen. That's what's always been so good about the community in modern work and across Power Platform and beyond. So many great people. And Heather, of course, is one of them who has been doing this for a really long time and is the lead of our Global Community Initiative externally, but also our Community Council inside Microsoft. You have no idea how hard she works to bring resources and people together so that they can have these fun events. So I just wanted to take a moment to nod to you, Heather, to all this amazing work. The fact that there are so many events that you have to talk about is, of course, due to all the amazing people out in the community, but also your stewardship. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, because I'm really happy that people can go to events all around the world. I think it's really important that they meet each other and that they get the benefit of the community like you and I had.
Yeah, for sure. No, thank you for that. It takes a village, as we know, on all of this stuff. And the community, I think the things about MGCI and the communitydays.org site that we, work on is that it's great to have it in one place.
Yes.
That was an ask for a really long time. And there's still lots of things that are in many different places, but at least for, all intents and purposes, we've got one place where all of you are taking advantage of putting your events up on communitydays.org, listing them there, using it as a sponsorship tool. These events need sponsors, right? So going out to your local community and being like, hey, would you like to sponsor this event that's happening and all of that? You can do that through communitydays.org. Your call for speakers, all that kind of stuff goes through that site, which we got to give a shout out to, who?
Tom Daly and the team. Tom Daly is the brilliant creative director behind communitydays.org, MVP off of the East Coast there in the United States. But he's just got such a heart for community, does amazing work, and he leads the team coming up with new ideas and things to do for Community Days. And if another thing I wanted to just mention really quickly is with that Global Community Initiative, you can go check out the page that we have for that MGCI page and find the regional leader that might be near you. The regional leaders are doing awesome work out there to continue to expand our event footprint and make sure that you all are connected to the community. So with that, Heather, I'll let you run through all these upcoming events. Whew,
cool.
So many.
Yeah. All right. Yes, absolutely. And, last week it was that was Community Manager Appreciation Day. And I wanted to, again, just say a shout out to all the community managers out there and community producers, people who are working in the community all the time, working for companies, working on community initiatives, working with our Microsoft MVPs, working with regional directors, building community around Microsoft for startups, Microsoft for nonprofits, all of the employee, resource groups that happen to be internally at different companies. Like that all is community, right? It's all about belonging to something bigger than yourself. Just a big shout out to everybody who has their hands in that every day. And who volunteers to do all of this stuff. It's super important, and it's a great way to stay connected and not feel so alone out there. So MGCIS, we have the link up for it. Definitely check that initiative out. We're always continuously kind of evolving and moving that initiative forward, and regional leaders, giving them more to do coming soon, more homework for you from on how, and back to me actually, frankly, on how we're doing things. So I'm excited for our upcoming board meetings and general sessions that are coming up. We had a great general session back here in January where we had a really great session from Adrias Martinkus about how to make a lasting impression in your Teams meetings. So lots of tips on lights and cameras and how to look good in meetings. And he had lots of practical advice because the power went out and his internet went out because he was at a hotel and not his normal office. And so it was a very hands-on real-time great session on how to do all of that stuff, which was awesome. We also had Sharon Weaver and Tom Daly come on and share updates on the communitydays.org, and then Sharon Weaver and then Wes Preston are leading our event training sessions as well. So all kinds of good stuff. The next one's coming up on February 18th. More information will be shared on how to get into that on our MGCI site. So let's see. And Michelle Ziemba is going to be talking about automating your events on the 18th. So another one of our regional leaders sharing about that. So that leads me into all of these amazing events on communitydays.org. So we host two different flavors of events, if you will, with community-led or free events, usually 1 day of technical skilling or 2 days maybe of technical skilling. And then we also have the community-produced events, meaning they're produced by a third-party producer and you have to pay to attend for registration. Some free events have nominal fees, but the produced events are, more you have to go register to go. So our past events include Teams Day, Teams Community Day in Germany. We had the CTTT in Estonia. We've got .NET Conference in Sweden, the BizApps LATAM in Costa Rica, M365 Miami it happened last week as well. So all of these past events, so awesome and just super fun. And thank you to all of the producers of these events that have just happened in January and February. And then looking forward, we have lots and lots of events coming up. Goodness, they're all over the world. They're Dubai, Germany, Virginia, my goodness, West Michigan. Shout out to my Michigan peeps back there. I'm from there originally. The DC event, Phoenix, where Karuana is keynoting, and I will be there as well. Knoxville coming up, Africa, Redmond, my goodness, Boston, Burlington, and Nashville. So a lot going on and coming up in February. And that's, and that's really through April. Lots of stuff coming, putting those up there. So if you want to go check those out, if you want to sponsor, if you want to speak, some of them still have their call for speakers open as well. And then getting into the paid events that are coming up and happening. We've got tons of stuff coming up here. Germany, Get LATAM conference, great conference. I know that our teammate Brian Welford is going to be there for that keynote. Experts Live Denmark. The Experts Live people put on amazing shows. They're mostly in Europe. Digital Workplaces, Debbie Ireland in New Zealand. Love that show. Microsoft Fabric Conference. So for those of you, data platform Fabric, great show coming up. Experts Live then in Germany, Modern Endpoint, the Philly folks putting on their event, Dynaway Connect, and then we've got the Microsoft 365 Community Conference in May coming up. That is one of many that I'm working on, as well as a producer for our division as well. So just tons and tons of stuff coming up, lots there, and you can get involved as, again, speaker, sponsor, volunteer, all of that. And there's a few that are actually virtual and online still as well. Many of these are in person, but some of them have virtual components, and those are all listed online as well. One other thing we have on our community site are all of our community calls. So those calls that are hosted by Microsoft. So Vesa and the developer platform team for M365, they host calls both weekly and monthly. We have the small and medium business calls. We have the Microsoft Champions call. We got the MGCI calls. All of those are listed up there in a calendar format, so you can check those out too. And there's also a speaker board up there where you can see who's speaking where and what, and learn more about different speakers in the world. And that is a partnership that Tom brokered with Sessionize. And so we're pulling in Sessionize information and also run events as well. So lots of information, lots of great partnerships on the back end with all of this stuff. So the other one that I was talking about that I'm working on a ton is that Microsoft 365 Community Conference. We do have a register code SAVE150 that you can go up there, where there's a lot of buzz around that one you're seeing right now. There's a couple other amazing conferences, TechCon coming up in Seattle. We've got European Collab Summit, tons and tons of these amazing events. So definitely go check them out. And lastly, disasterassistance.gov for those affected by the fires that happened here in Los Angeles and other natural disasters. Definitely a site to go check out as far as where to get help and how to contribute, how to donate, how to volunteer, and all of that on a larger level. At Microsoft, we're really very proud to support first responders and emergency service agencies with our technology and staff. Their work is amazing. So if you've been impacted, make sure to visit the site to get the assistance you need for now and the future. So yeah, you want to bring Karuana back up and wrap this up. So
Yes,
yeah.
thank you. And thank you for the shout out to all the first responders and folks that we do support, but they're doing the heavy lifting and hard work out there. And we are still sending lots of positive energy to anyone impacted by any natural situation, but certainly our friends in Los Angeles. So and in that general area. But yes, I'm also excited to see many people at M365 conference. That is going to be a wonderful opportunity to connect with the community, as well as community experts and product leaders who are going to share all sorts of information, not just about Copilot and our AI capabilities, but also about SharePoint and OneDrive and Teams and Exchange and Windows and all of the other foundational services that make the Copilot experience amazing. So I hope to see everybody there and at all the different shows that are happening around the world, TechCon 365 and ECS as well. That is going to be fantastic. So looking forward to actually getting to see you in person there, Heather. We will both be in person at the M365 conference. That is going to be great. Yep. And we just appreciate your support for Mondays at Microsoft. This is another one in the can, and happy to be with all of you. We will be back on February 24th with even more fantastic news from across the Microsoft world. We hope you join us then. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday.
Take care of yourselves and be good out there.
Bye.